Welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. This is the Coffee Talk Podcast show. I'm your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is the Cultural Variety Podcast show. Peace, and welcome to the Grown Folks Social Hour. How y'all doing tonight? Peace, and blessings. Indeed. How y'all doing tonight? Well, I'll say this. It feels good to be back. You know, we've been idle for about maybe a week, 10 days or so. You know what I mean? We got so much going on, man, within the community during this time and everything like that, you know. So we in so many different spaces right now. But I'm just happy to be back with y'all, man. No doubt. Now, I know a lot of y'all are probably just coming from the bar, the club, the spot, whatever. Well, I just want to say I'm happy that y'all are making it home safely. You know what I mean? So if you're just now coming in the door, or if you're listening to the podcast as you drive home, make sure you keep your eyes on the road. You know what I mean? Don't be playing with your cell phone. But most importantly, make sure that you're listening to the Coffee Talk Podcast show. You know what I mean? And that goes out to my loyalists. You know, my supporters have been rocking with me for quite some time. Tonight, we got a great show lined up, a great show in store. It's only going to be a quick show, man, about 15 minutes. I know y'all only going to be able to rock with me while you're eating your White Castles and all that other shit y'all be eating. Was that just y'all's mama and daddy's time or y'all new era? Y'all know y'all still stop and get y'all's food on, you know what I mean? You know, it's a little bit different, man, because, you know, ever since COVID, a lot of restaurants don't really stay open late at the clubs. Now, there are a few venues I'm aware of, like lounges and stuff, where you can get your groove on, you know what I mean, and eat. But who wants to be eating and a chick twerking right next to them and, you know, booty all on his plate and all that? So it's kind of difficult to mix those two genres, which is food and you know, partying at the same time. You know what I mean? You know, motherfucker butt shaking, doing the butt or whatever, and you bite your potatoes. You know? But, yeah, so what do y'all do, man, when y'all leave the club? Man, how do y'all eat? Y'all just go straight to the crib? You know, most of the grocery stores are probably closed. You know, a lot of things closed, man. I remember there was a time for me when we used to get out the club, man. We would go to Perkins and shit, be there till about 2, 3, 4 in the morning and be having a wonderful time, man. Eating some good ass breakfast, man. I miss those days. No doubt. All right, well, you know how it is, man. This is the Grown Folks Social Hour. So you know, we on script but off script, man. We just being us tonight, like we always do on the weekends. You definitely can catch us every Friday or Saturday alternate night here on YouTube, here on Facebook. And I'm slowly starting to put stuff on, what is that, Instagram? You know, I'm slowly learning it, you know what I mean? So if you have seen some things out there on Instagram, I appreciate you viewing that. We will make sure that we continue to put our product out there, because of course we want to bring in more people that we feel deserves to be a part of Coffee Talk Podcast. You know what I mean? And the livest podcast in the country. You know, a place where you can come and, you know, have a good time, you know. So look, if you never been to our show or never watched our show before, man, this is how it goes down. We are a cultural variety podcast show, so we definitely give positive love here. We definitely give big shots out to our people. You know what I mean? To all people, but most importantly, our people. You know what I mean? All the way from our doctors, our lawyers, our scholars, our athletes, our ancestors, our people. And we also like to always make sure that each and every time we encounter is something positive. And sometimes it might be something where, you know, we taking accountability and we're pointing those out too. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to wise up and rise up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, no doubt. So tell me right now, man, whatever you eating, go ahead and drop that in the chat box. Let us know you here, man. You know, let us know you here out here. We would love to hear from you. We would love to know that you are driving home safely. And if you are a little tipsy, make sure you hand the keys over to someone else, please. Okay, that's cool shit. You know, ain't got to be the big or on your ego trip or whatever. Make sure you pass those keys to a friend and you drive home safely. You know, that's what the Coffee Talk podcast is about. And if you don't know how to, you don't have a friend, then hit our inbox, man. We'll make sure we find a way to get you home after the clubs. You know what I mean? All right. So going back to what I was saying before I kind of got distracted there. If this is your first time appearing at the show or listening to the show, we never start the show without bringing you first the flavor. You know what I mean? And then after that, the wise words. Now, the wise words can be any type of quote or wise words that was stated by one of our people, you know what I'm saying, in the terms of motivating, inspiring, empowering, you know what I mean, like that. So those is what the wise words is about. Tonight, it's a hip hop legend in her own right. You know what I mean? She's definitely, I remember the beginning of her career. So we're going to do her wise words tonight. And she goes by the name of Nicki Minaj. So we're going to definitely do the wise words on that. And also for the flavor, you know what I'm saying? Tonight, listen, you just got home from the club. You're kicking your shoes off. You're probably looking wonderful. But you want to eat first. You want to listen to Coffee Talk podcast. So I got you. Tonight's flavor is real simple and plain. Something that you should have with all that fried food shit that you're eating right now. Looking like Wanda Big Back. But what you should be having tonight and what tonight's flavor is tonight's flavor is straight up water. You know what I mean? You know, whatever water, man. I don't really prefer purified because that's just too much clean water. Takes all the minerals out the water. But whatever water you got, man, just drink some water because I know you hydrated, whatever. You've been dancing, you've been shaking, you've been eating fried foods, whatever, you know, but make sure you drink some water. So tonight's flavor is straight up water. And so let's talk about the benefits of drinking water before going to bed. The benefits of drinking water before going to bed is this. Number one, it improves your mood. So if you drink some water tonight, I know you was mad that Sheila Johnson is messing with your friend's sister's man's cousin's man. Baby mama, daddy, whatever, you know what I mean? So drink you some water, man. This improves your mood before you go to sleep. And it may even improve your mood in the morning. It should, because you should never be waking up bad. You know what I mean? You should always wake up with righteous intent. Always wake up happy. Always make sure that you are thankful and grateful. You know what I'm talking about? The second benefit of drinking water before going to bed, which is tonight's flavor, drinking water is it helps regulate your blood temperature. I mean, your body temperature. That's right. Water helps regulate your body temperature. It helps calm you down. You know what I'm saying? And it also breaks down I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second here. It breaks down waste. I couldn't even see my writing on my script. But it breaks down the waste in your body when you're drinking water. You know what I mean? Especially before you go to bed. You know, you've been eating all kind of shit. Chips, Takis, chicken fried this, chicken fried that, some lobster tail, some blunts, some Moscato, a shot of this, a shot of that. You know what I mean? But hey, man, let us know. Again, if you're tuning in tonight, watch a Coffee Talk podcast. Let us know that you made it home safe. If you made it home safe, put a 3 in the comments. If your ass is almost home and you still want us to send positive energy while you're on the road trying to get home, put in the number 2, man. We'll even give you a shout out. And number 1, if you feel like you're too tipsy, man, put a number 1 in the comments, man. And then take your keys and hand them to a friend. You know what I'm talking about? All right. So next, the wise words for the night on this grown folk social hour. The wise words, as I stated, belong to one of the top rap females artists, man. She goes by the name of Onika Tanya Mirage, and she was born December 8th, 1982. Y'all know her as Nicki Minaj. I know her as Nicki Minaj. You know, but one thing I'll say before I go into Nicki Minaj's wise words that she bestowed upon us, I just want to say I remember when she first, like, there was YouTube videos of her, man. You know, back when her hair was all black, pretty little thing, straight out of Trinidad. You know what I mean? But man, she had lyrical flow. You know what I'm talking about? She had lyrical flow for real. And you know, you didn't hear, you know, in music, people you will tend to hear who got writers, ghostwriters, whatnot. You know, a lot of people have ghostwriters. A lot of people claim to be ghostwriters just because they added a little piece, whatever. But you didn't hear that much about ghostwriters when it came to Nicki Minaj, man. I'll never forget. There was one YouTube video, man. She was probably in the Bronx or wherever she's from, and she was sitting on the stair, man, and man, she dropped a crazy verse. You know what I mean? So shouts out to Nicki Minaj. And let's get into her wise words. Nicki Minaj said, "Respect your haters. They're the only ones who think you're better than them." Hey, listen to that again. Nicki Minaj once said, "Respect your haters. They're the only ones who think you're better than them." Those are the wise words of Onika Tanya Mirage, also known as Nicki Minaj. Net worth 150 million, so they say. You know what I'm saying? Big shout outs to Nicki Minaj. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the show, man. And you know, this is gonna be a quick one. I definitely want to hear y'all's thoughts. But tonight we're just gonna go ahead and dive in since it's social grown folk social night, you know. We're gonna talk about entertainment news. So tonight we're talking about Ciara, R&B singer Ciara, giving her son Russell Wilson, her husband, Future, and her son with Future's Russell Wilson's last name. Let me repeat that, because I just tore all that up, didn't I? I know I get tongue twisted sometimes. But so tonight we're going to talk about Ciara, man. Ciara's married to Russell Wilson. You know, Russell Wilson formerly played for the Seattle Seahawks, Pittsburgh Steelers, and now he's playing for the New York Giants this year in the NFL. I think he still got a little bit in him, man. I like Russ. Russ done been in some wars, though. He done took some hits along his career. But I still trust him as a quarterback, you know, just to give a little bit of my thoughts on that. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about Ciara Russell Wilson. They've been married for some years now. I want to say what 5 years, maybe. If it's been 10 years, man, that's crazy. About 7 to 10 years, that you know, that's love. Not crazy as in a bad thing, but you know, wow, you know, that's good for them. But Ciara has a child by the rapper Future out of Atlanta. You know what I mean? And so reports are coming in that Ciara went ahead and took her youngest child, who Russell Wilson helped raise. I mean, Russell Wilson and Ciara have been together a long time. Again, between 7, 8 years to maybe 10 years. And she decided to add Wilson's last name to Future and her son's last name. So it's an added name, you know. And I want to talk about that. Let's talk about that. What is y'all's thoughts on that? I mean, when you first hear about it, are you thinking like, Like, that's fucked up. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, man? I got a couple different viewpoints that I'm gonna go ahead and talk about. First, I'll say this, and this is no attack on Ciara. We're just talking about the overall, gesture of the shit. You know what I mean? And giving our opinions. It's entertainment. But how would y'all feel, man, for your ex-lady, you and her have a baby, right? And then she goes ahead and takes your child, your son, and gives him the other nigga's last name. But before we dive into that, I want you to think a little bit, because I love to get y'all to think. Let's think from this lens for a moment. Let's compare all the lenses we're going to think about. But let's talk about this one. Russell Wilson's worth a lot of money, man. And if his structure is right, his infrastructure, and his business is correct, he probably got a will, estate, stuff, set aside if something was to happen to him. And we don't, first of all, we don't wish anyway, but we don't wish that on nobody. But we have to talk about these times, you know what I mean? And everybody should have some type of insurance anyway on themselves. But I can see her having to make that difference. One, that boy was raised by Russell Wilson. Whether y'all like Russell or not, I don't have a problem with Russell. I think the only problem that I see and hear out of the black community is that he's no future. I mean, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, that's crazy to me, because future's not even real. You know what I mean? And I'm being serious. That's no distant future. But like they said, man, Future talks about all this shit in his raps, man. And his kids go to Ivy League schools and he don't even do drugs or drink. Is that what they said? Y'all let me know. So with that being known, as well as what we've been currently seeing in the rap game, the rap industry, I just can't get sold like that, man. I'm sorry, man. I ain't going out like that, listening and worrying about dumb shit like that. I would rather have a guy like Russell Wilson, who has been fairly clean in the eyes of others, but he's a good kid. I remember Russell Wilson back in the days, they was talking about him when he was like out at Wisconsin or some shit like that, good kid. And I remember one time he had some type of TV, little, I don't know what it was, a sit down with his family, man. And he wanted to always make sure to include his blackness, the same way with Pat Mahomes. Big shout out to Pat Mahomes, but the media be trying to make him the great white hope, the next Tom Brady, whatever, but they love their blackness, man. And you got to respect that. So, but yeah, my thoughts are that Ciara's possibly making the change to Russell. One is because Russell is like a father to her son. I don't know his name. I didn't do the homework on that part. But he did raise her son, her and Future's son. And again, that's her husband. And if something was to happen to Russell, man, he wants to make sure all his kids, even including his stepson, inherits whatever he may leave. So I want to put that on y'all before you go just dissing Ciara and all that shit, man. Y'all can't tell me that y'all wouldn't think about something like that and make sure you got your ducks in order for something like that. Talk to me. I'm listening. Talk to me. Hit that chat box. It's the Grown Folks Social Hour. And this is a great topic. As you can see, I got my flavor tonight, some straight up water. I put a little peach tea in it too, though, Give it a good taste. But other than that, I'm happy to be here, man. We're going to give it a few more minutes before we ask a couple questions. I think we might play a 3-question Q&A And that's just a game we play where we ask questions, and have fun with it, you know. But how was y'all's night? Again, if you're just now getting home, you're just now tuning in to Coffee Talk Podcast at 12:21. Some of y'all's falling asleep. But just put in a 3 on the comments. Let us know you got home safely. You're at the crib. Put a 2 if you're on your way home. And put a 1 if your ass can't make it home. You feel woozy. Go ahead and get the keys to a friend. So that we don't allow nobody to drive drunk. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it with this, and wait to hear y'all's thoughts. Sierra's taking her young son, her and future son, and she's giving him Russell Wilson's last name. Now I hope that, and I don't like to use the word hope, but we'll just say it for the overall listeners and whatever. That let's not say hope. Let's say reconsider. Well, not reconsider. I'm trying to think of a word, y'all. Help me out here. Help me out. Let's go ahead and take that viewpoint and not just look at it as, oh, Russell's a lame, because he's not a lame, y'all. He's a grown man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he might not be all in the trap and all that, man. That don't make you less of a person. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts, man. Go ahead and let me know what y'all's thoughts are on the Sierra, her child with future, Russell Wilson situation. Until next time, this is Coffee Talk Podcast. You know what it is. It's the Grown Folk Social Hour. But before we dip out, we're going to hit you with 3 Q&A. 3-question Q&A. And that's just 3 questions. Again, this is Grown Folk Social Hour. Your kids should not be up watching this. But it's just something for fun. We like to have fun on the show. We like to be humorous. We like to talk, crazy, whatever. Let's like if we was at the bar. So we're going to go ahead and pull out a few little questions here. So here we go. Drum roll, please. That's not the drum roll I need. I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go ahead and pull out this question. Question number 1. Let me read it first before I ask it. You got sensitive people watching. You know what I'm talking about? All right, listen. This one, again, this is Grown Folk Social Hour. We like to have fun. We like to have sexual humor and all kind of shit. So please excuse us. This does not have to do with our other shows throughout the week. Again, we are a cultural variety podcast show, and we got a little bit of something for everybody. Again, tonight is Grown Folk Social Hour. Mondays, Sunday and Monday alternate nights is our cultural studies night, and Wednesdays, alternate Thursdays, is our sports. But tonight, y'all got the Grown Folks Social Hour. So we talking about grown folk shit, whether it be humorous, funny, or whatever. It's grown folk shit. All right, so tonight's 3-question Q&A. The first question is this: what is the kinkiest place you would want to have sex? What is the kinkiest place you would want to have sex? Some people say they like to join the Mile High Club, and that's where you sneak off to the bathroom while you're up in the airplane and get your rocks off with your girl. You know what I mean? Hey, that was a big thing in the 90s, man. Everybody was trying to join the Mile High Club. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and move right along to question number 2 of the 3-question Q&A here on Coffee Talk Podcast, the Grown Folks Social Hour. Question number 2 is this. Pause. I said question number 2 and sung this shit. Pause. Hey, well, that's what we're here for, to laugh, man. I like to make y'all laugh. Question number 2 is this, and this may take you back to your childhood here on Grown Folks Social Hour. Question number 2 of the 3-question Q&A is this: have you ever had to cover up a hickey? Have you ever had to cover up a hickey? Remember all those old weird ass experiments your friends would tell you about when we was young, and you would have a hickey and you didn't want your boyfriend or your girlfriend to find out, they'd be talking about, go get a spoon, put it in the freezer, wait till the spoon gets cold, and then let it defrost on the hickey on the side of your neck. And somehow that would magically make the motherfucking saliva and spit and blood in the hickey all come detached and shit. and motherfucker wouldn't know you had a hickey. You motherfuckers got caught every time. Lost the best thing you ever had. That's why y'all be having toxicity now about cheaters. Can't get past the childhood shit. All right, and last question tonight of the 3-question Q&A here at the Grown Folks Social Hour, here at Coffee Talk Podcast. I don't even know what it is. Let's go ahead and get us a drum roll, shall we, please? That drum roll again, I swear I'm gonna fuck you up. All right, I ain't gonna ask that question. But the last question of tonight. All right, this is a funny one, y'all. 3-question Q&A. This is the Grown Folks Social Hour. This is the last question of tonight. And here's the question. Would you want to role play in the bedroom? And if you did, what characters would you choose? Would you want to role play in the bedroom? And if so, what characters would you choose? I'm gonna tell y'all right now who I would be. I gotta be playing role playing and shit in the bedroom tonight. You know who I would be? There was a character that Richard Pryor played. It was on a movie called Which Way Is Up. Well, anyway, there was a scene, man, where Richard Pryor was trying to get revenge because of the pastor had sex with his wife. So Richard Pryor went to go have sex with the pastor's wife in this old trailer park. Man, it's one of the funniest comedic movies, scenes, man, in comedy, man. Make sure you check that out, man. That's the character I would be. I don't even know what his name was, man. Roscoe or whatever, man. But big shout outs to Richard Pryor, a legend within his own right. And again, as we get ready to get up out of here, the 3-question Q&A, the last question of the night is, would you want to role play in the bedroom? And if you did, what character would you choose to be? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. And until next time, I'm gonna hit you with the universal peace sign. It's to God, M. Saba. And this is Coffee Talk Podcast. We out of here. Peace, love.